Hello, good morning. Welcome to the coffee morning. Now, I was once the proud possessor of a housewife. My employer held the belief that I, and indeed other young chaps like me, should have one. Very useful when a sock needed to be darned or a button sewed back on. A faithful, dependable and loyal companion for a number of years until, no longer in that employment, we parted company with scarcely a backward look. That was when I handed my kit in when I left the army. The housewife, pronounced Hasif, came as a khaki cotton roll-up thing with several compartments for sewing needles and safety pins, a small reel of white and khaki cotton, as well as some grey and green darning yarn and some spare buttons. Small scissors and a bodkin were also included. A neat and efficient little mending kit. That little item had no other purpose but was sufficient for doing those particular jobs. Now, I wouldn't claim to be anything other than the most primitive needlesmith, but I had learned how to darn a sock or pullover and sew a button on that stood properly on a shirt. Now, when it comes to mending things, or all sorts of things, some people seem to have a talent for finding the seat of the problem and then working out how to fix it. And then fix it with an effective and permanent repair, or by finding an expert who can. Others who lack such a talent will sometimes have a go at doing it themselves. These happy but misguided souls are often a welcome source of entertainment to their friends and an even more welcome source of income to skilled professional menders and purveyors of replacement items, as these amateur repairers often fail with spectacular results. Sometimes, however, a repair or replacement is impossible or impractical because of cost or availability. This is when we must make do. Now, this is a tactic for convincing yourself that we never really needed the full function of whatever it was we were trying and failing to fix. Once we had a shelf supported on one end by a sauce bottle. There was a sterling solution that lasted for about 2 years until the cupboard was replaced. Now, I can't remember if the bottle was full or not, but it certainly wasn't the purpose that was thought of by Mr. Hines. But that's sometimes the way it goes when repairs are needed. Firstly, the inconvenience of the imperfection is tolerated or even ignored until it can be no longer. Then we plan for the repair. We know the materials and tools are, or can be obtained, or at least where they ought to be, and please note, when did you last have it is not always helpful. Anyway, the next phase involves trying to remember how to do it. It could be a long time since you last mended something successfully. Now we are ready, but the battery on the drill is flat. So have a cup of tea until it charges a bit, and so on. The virtue of the housewife was that it always worked. Regular kit inspections by a concerned corporal guaranteed that it contained what it was supposed to. And that's the nub of my thought for today. Keep it simple. If you need it to be fixed, find an expert or replace it. Or do without. There's enough clutter in our lives without further complication. If the only things you've ever stuck together with glue is your fingers, avoid glue. And please remember, the best way to avoid these breakages is to have the kit, skill and regular maintenance, catching a problem in the bud. When Jesus saw those sons of Zebedee working on the shore, they would have been engaged, as fishermen often are, in maintenance, mending nets and fettling their tackle so they were just as well equipped and prepared as they could be for their next voyage. Just the sort of people needed for the sort of work he had in mind for them. Now, I think there's still time to do a bit of last-minute shopping, so why not phone a friend?